With Snowbirds, I wanted to make a film that was unapologetic or unafraid to be sincere. The type of sincerity that's emotionally awkward. The kind of sincerity that's a high-pitched cry from a hospital room that's a soul-filled question that can't be answered. As a filmmaker and as an audience member, what it boiled down to for me was getting the chance to watch someone get to see their loved one.
And that's just, oh, I get chills.
It's very rare that you get people who want to take on tough stories, tough ideas.
One of the beautiful things about the films that Justin makes is that every bit of these stories is less about, let me tell you a story to get you from point A to point B. And it's so much more about, I want you to know this person that I'm telling the story about.
This is my personal favorite script that he's written, so I was like really excited to be in it.
Love you a lot, Josh. Thanks for flying to Texas to do this. All right.
Love you too, buddy.
Bye.
Cut. Brilliant. Bravo.
Well, the script was huge. And I found it to be like really darkly funny, but incredibly human.
No.
And I just really gelled with it to begin with.
This is a story about grief, about a love affair that doesn't end. Death does not kill love. She wasn't ready to say goodbye to him. She just wanted one more day, one more visit with him. And of course she gets it, doesn't she, in her own way.
As a filmmaker, social media is kind of a love-hate relationship. One of the cool things about Facebook specifically was that when trying to cast this film, a lot of people offered different actors that they knew or people I was familiar with, and I knew that I did not know who was going to play Agnes. I did not know that actor. And so thankfully my actor friend Rachel Hendricks allowed me to use her Actors Access account to do a casting call. And I just thought, well, what if I just post that link to Facebook? And this guy who I had never met, a filmmaker, tagged Peppy Strife's name and said, hey, I just worked with her a couple years ago. She's professional, blah, blah, blah.
So, I mean, I never heard of Justin Robinson. I clicked on his name and it said he was a movie producer, blah, 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 blah. A lot of people think they're a movie producer, you know, and they aren't. And by God, he was. Anyway.
Bye, Fargo, take two, Mark.
One of the cool casting stories of Snowbirds is how I connected with Susan McPhail. So I'm a big Shia LaBeouf fan, and I went to see The Peanut Butter Falcon with my wife. For the people that know me, they know I have a very particular hatred of people talking during a movie at a theater. But I broke that commandment to lean to my wife the moment Susan popped up on screen and said, that's Ethel.
I mean, I was like 2 lines in Peanut Butter Falcon. I tell people, don't blink or you might miss me when they go see it. It's a wonderful film, but you know, I'm just a very small part of it. But just to be recognized like he did and to see the character of Ethel in me was very, very special.
That's beautiful. Try one now. Like you're telling no disrespect, but you're telling a kid that pooping your pants is okay. It's kind of like, hey, we all do it.
From a widow to a widow. After being married for most of your life, it's hard to learn to live alone.
Whew, that's magic. Okay. She was lovely enough to ask her to come from Mississippi to South Carolina for one scene.
Don't make me laugh. Okay.
Let's roll sound.
Sound speeds.
Speeding.
Camera speeds.
With my relationship with Ryan, I'm just here to be a shoulder to lean on and then someone that he knows I'll do whatever needs to be done. So that's what falls under the umbrella for this project as associate producer, but basically I'm just Ryan's friend and I'll do whatever he needs, and that means any department, anywhere. If me or Ryan Conley stopped making movies, we would still be friends, and I think that's one of the beautiful parts of our relationship is that we champion each other in life and of course in filmmaking, because making films and life is a very lonely thing. Hey Ryan, after you host this week's Film Riot, are you gonna host an episode of Blue's Clues?
To have Ryan Connolly and Film Riot back Snowbirds in the way they did was huge, because the relationship with Westcott and getting all those lighting resources, and even just being an emotional support for Justin, and always being endless supply of optimism has been one of Ryan Connolly's great features.
When I make a short film on this level, the gear, lighting specifically, is a hodgepodge of everybody's stuff, and that could be a par can, a clamp light, an Aperture 300D, and a light that their uncle used in the 1940s to light a black and white film.
It was a real comfort to have Westcott come in and provide a consistent package of lighting that we could use and know what we're getting, know what the output was going to be, and know that we could put them through any real test. Whether inside, outside, in a small space, hanging from a cabinet, or just on a C-stand.
They're just so versatile. You can do so many things with them, so they really were an amazing tool for this film.
With the gear that we have, I don't think we could have done it any other way without the Westcott.
The Westcott gear allowed us to light the film the same way we made the film, in the sense of we don't need a lot to do a lot. One of the greatest takeaways of my time living in Texas was meeting Daniel Routh.
I met Justin several years back on the set of a Film Riot short film. And we just kind of became fast friends. I've always loved and admired Justin. It was a dream come true for me to get to work on a film of his. I'm fortunate to be a co-owner of an Alexa Mini with a production company called Maker Table, and we really saw it as an opportunity to help and to be a part of the production in any way we can to support Justin and his goals, just by bringing that camera out.
He was a person who saw a need and came in very quickly to fill it. He was invaluable to the production.
So let's...
You watch the sausage get made right here. This is how we make movies.
5 golf, take 1, Mark.
I mean, Stephen King said you gotta kill your darlings. I got a lot of darlings, you know.
No, don't kill your darling. Don't kill this darling. It's
Okay.
too good. It's too darling.
How much you pay me if I keep it?
No, you paid me.
Action.
I think one of my favorite things about Justin is just that you can never fully know what is going to happen on set.
Justin's an intense guy. When we're rolling, it like turns on, and he just gets this look in his eyes.
I've known Justin for a while, so I was expecting strange, and that's exactly what I got.
You have an unusual mind.
I've always told him that his brain just works differently, and a way that he got something out of me that he wanted was to put a yellow balloon with a smiley face right in front of me where the actress's face is supposed to be.
3 Lima, take 1, Mark.
So when's the wedding? You guys are gonna have really ugly kids, you know that?
God, that's awesome. That's great, moving on.
That was awesome.
It was really cool to get to watch Justin do his thing and do it in a way that is unique to Justin.
Stop it! Stop it!
Now you need to keep an open mind. Director is setting this safe place for everybody to just really enjoy what they're doing, and it was just really refreshing because he's very intentional with the energy he brings on set and his choice of words.
His words just flow out of him, both in writing and verbally. He's incredibly articulate.
Can you imagine them having sex? Hope he doesn't do it with a sweater on. Oof.
You're the most incredible coach. You ever run out of words?
Say no.
No.
I'm sorry.
6 kilo, take 1, Mark.
Baby, can I have you open your hand for me? I'm gonna give you some anger and some energy.
The way he talks to actors is completely different, unlike anybody I've ever worked with. Bull crap.
In real life, when you're having your worst day, it's not just the argument that sends you over the edge. It's the flat tire on the way to work. It's the extra 3 red lights that you hit. It's the person who cut you in line. It's the person who gave you a weird look. It's all those little ingredients that are the recipe for the explosion.
Working with Justin has allowed me to work with a director that really is like an actor's director.
I think sometimes you feel like his nanny. So from a directing standpoint, I'm not trying to base a performance off of that one argument. I'm trying to deepen that resentment with all the annoying little things in the day that build up and slowly push you off the edge, because it's not just one push. Remember that grand slam you hit, Josh? State championship? You know who wasn't there? To be clear and define, quote, the edge or getting us to the edge, that doesn't mean just vicious anger. It's extreme awkwardness. It's that deep, dark, emotional, soul-filled place. It's all the above by feeble attempts at sometimes doing weird stuff.
Here we go, take one, Mark.
Don't let her touch you, Josh. Eden, fix his vest. Do it again, Josh. Don't use your hands, just use your words.
Stop it.
Can you stop touching?
Josh, let's pause. That's amazing. When she tries to fix it, say it's orange. You can't fix it. Okay?
Just stop. Just stop. Just stop. It's orange. You can't fix it. Oh my God.
I'm sorry. That's a good. Thank you so much. So in the year 2019, I got to shoot 2 short films. That means I spent 4.5 days out of 365 doing what I absolutely love to do. And what I love to do is really important to me, but who I do it with is also super, super important.
Can someone get Brent? Bradford, a great idea. I think we just cheated here. Cheers.
When you work on a set of mine, you realize pretty quickly that I roll in threes. Me, Brent, and Bradford. My cinematographer, Brent, and Bradford, my now focus puller. We kind of roll together, and we're very tight in real life, and we're very tight on set, and we've worked on a ton of shows together, for better or for worse, some doozies and some good ones. And I think through those experiences with life and with film, we've become very close to where I think that's the only way I'm able to make films, is to have that support system of 2 people I can look behind, and they both have my back.
With a strong leader like Justin, everyone really falls in behind that, and they want to get up behind a person like that who has such a strong vision, and not only for the film but also for the way that the film gets made. The process of making something together is just as important, and maybe more important than the final product itself. I mean, down to every single crew member had a gift bag with their name on it, with a card that Justin had written for them, and a little gift inside. And there's a schedule for Crafty that has every single crew member's favorite Crafty, drink and snack, and then any dietary restrictions. And then there's a schedule for Crafty for when certain food comes out. And Maria and Stephanie and Kimberly, they just absolutely, it was amazing. It was one of the best Crafty I've ever had on any set. And it speaks to Justin's level of care and attention when it comes to what a film set can be.
Maria, it's the best Crafty I've ever seen.
And then Justin takes a lot of pride in what's available to take care of the people who've come out. And that's pretty special.
How you know all the things I love?
I think a lot of people and a lot of films will just kind of find this plateau, and I think that this is definitely a never-ending staircase. Like, we find, how do we keep going forward? Everything is a step.
I think a metaphor that works when it comes to short films is the production itself is like a leaky boat, and that you're always going to bring the same boat, and you're going to patch up a lot of the holes that spring, but in some ways you never know where the next hole is going to pop up, and you're going to have to dig out the water. You're going to have to scoop out every last drop to get dry again, so you can float on and make it to the next destination, but you're going to spring a leak. And I think knowing and accepting accidents, sometimes they're happy accidents, sometimes they're detrimental to production, but regardless, embracing the holes in your boat, I think it's how you're able to go on, and knowing that you're going to spring leaks and being okay anyway, because you get to be in the boat to begin with.